I think we're live. That's what I'm hoping right now. For those of you who are already in the chat, could you let me know if everything's looking all right? Hoping. I'm hoping that we're doing okay. So much easier when you have friends who can support you by pressing buttons and doing things off to the side. I mean, it looks like I'm live, but I don't actually know if that's the case. I look good. Do I sound okay? Does everything sound all right? It looks like it sounds okay from what I'm looking at. So hopefully we have everything dialed in. I hate it. So whenever live streams live on as regular videos on a channel, it's always so uncomfortable how it's just a person sitting there tapping keys, wondering if everything's going okay. So thank you for confirming for me that it is indeed going okay. We'll wait for a little bit to kind of get into the meat of everything. But this is really, I mean, honestly, this is just for me to say hi and connect with you guys, um, and say hello, because I don't do these very often. I don't really have the time to do them very often, and because of the big reason that we're doing this, the big reason that we didn't have a normal video ready for Thursday like we always do is because a lot of videos that we spent time creating a couple of weeks ago are still under embargo. We're not allowed to publish them until such and such a date. And so time was spent making the videos, except we didn't get to publish them when we normally would. And you guys know I was in Tokyo doing Sony stuff for a while. And of course, that took up some time. Not complaining. Just trying to explain why it was that there was no regular video today. And I think that's excusable and everything, but I'd like to keep to the publishing schedule. That's just kind of my thing. And so I wanted to do a live stream, especially since I don't think we're going to be able to do a video on Tuesday. Next week is going to be different. You'll see the videos when you see the videos. But there is an event happening next week, and there's an event happening the week after that. I think that's all I can tell you. I'll be in New York for a while. You will hear from me and see stuff at that time. But this is going to I'm trying to bridge the gap here. I don't want it to be like an entire week without anything going live. Although I will say that Just Ask Caleb is still coming out on Saturday as planned. The Saturday after that, we'll see. It kind of depends on how things go in New York. Anyway, kind of want to tune into what's happening in the chat. And like, why am I so serious? I'm always serious. I'm dead serious about this stuff. You kidding me? Hi from Minnesota. Hi from New York. Hi from Tigard, Oregon. What's up, Tigard? And let's see. Yeah, a lot of news from Samsung coming out, and more to come. Sony gave us a little bit of a taste of what's going on. Let's see here. Some very specific questions. Any word on LG 100-inch class 84B series QNED Evo AI Mini LED 4K? What word are you looking for? No. The answer is no. I have no word on that. Is Stop the FOMO in here already? FOMO and somebody else are mad with Sony. They didn't get the free ride to Tokyo. Okay, should we talk about that? Sony RGB. Sony did a pretty big trip for a lot of both journalists and creators last year. The year prior, they did a very small trip for just 3 people: myself, Kate Kozach, and Jake Kroll. And depends on what they have to show and what's going on. I also assume that budgets have something to do with it, but they don't always throw a gigantic party in Tokyo for everybody. They kind of pick and choose what they're going to do and what's available. In one case, TVs were showed off. In another case, technology was the focus. It just kind of depends. They're doing something else for creators and influencers. And I draw that distinction because historically, the way this has worked, and I feel like I'm missing a million comments. Give me a second to catch up on your comments. Historically, the way this always worked was we had journalists, and journalists did their thing, and there were rules around that, and guardrails, and yada yada yada. Then influencers and content creators came into the picture. They got their own management team from the all the different big brands. They went on different trips. There were different standards and rules going on there. Now it's starting to become like a hybrid. And I think it's tough to navigate. I think they're still figuring out how they want to do this. Because I mean, we've seen a lot of publications just go away. And there's a lot of writers and journalists out there who don't currently have jobs, or they're picking up freelance work, but they're not able to take trips or do whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, it's complicated and it's confusing, but it wasn't like they were uninvited or anything like that. They just did a smaller trip. And it was the same tiny group that had gone back when they were basically testing doing the trip at all. I'm fortunate to be among them. I think, I've been at this for a really long time. And TV is just like my total focus. Linus was there though. That was a surprise. Linus was there and with a crew. That was fun. That was awesome. Anyway, I'm glad I was able to go. Happy to answer any questions I can about that, if there are any questions about that. Let's move along, and people showing the love, which I really, really appreciate. Will I be reviewing the new Vizio Mini LED TV? Funny you should ask. Vizio has not reached out to me. Other people have the TV, and that was news to me. I found out from another journalist. They have not reached out to me, at least as far as I'm aware. That might be because I've been pretty hard on them in the past. I've tried to work with them. There's great people there, really great people. Maybe the whole Walmart buys Vizio thing didn't go over well with them. I don't really know what's going on. I hate to make assumptions. What I do know is they haven't reached out. They haven't offered a TV for me to review. I think they know where I am. Like, I'm not where I used to be, former employer. I'm here doing this thing now. But yeah, I haven't heard anything from Vizio. I know some great people there. I'm going to try and find out what's up with that, because yes, I would like to. I'd like to know what Vizio is looking like now. That was a big question last year, with the acquisition from Walmart. And so I would love to find out and see how they're stacking up, because historically they've provided some huge value. TCL and Hisense kind of came and ate their lunch, but they are backed by a very powerful, wealthy company now. So I have no doubts that they could be making really good stuff. I would just like to know. I'd like to find out what's going on with that. Let's see. Bob from Dayton, Ohio. Oh, I've visited Dayton, by the way. Glad to see you here, Bob. Really appreciate it. I'm trying to catch up with all of these comments that are coming in. It wants to keep jumping ahead on me. I'm not going to be able to provide a lot of tech support or a lot of TV decision making stuff. And by the way, I guess I feel like I have to say this at the top, so it comes as no surprise. I am not asking for super chats. Nobody. I don't want you to feel like you have to do that. Please. I'm just here for fun. If somebody super chats me, I will have to give priority to them, because I just feel like that's the right thing to do. I hope you guys understand that. But please don't start super chat. Y'all have been very, very supportive. I'm not asking for more here. I just want to let you know, if we see that happening in the chat, I will have to prioritize it, because those are just sort of the unwritten rules. You know what I mean? Hey, from Flagstaff, Arizona. I recently, my daughter actually just came back from Sedona, and I guess they had a really great time. Also got sunburnt. That's hardcore. What did Sony tell us yesterday that we didn't already know? A lot. First of all, I don't know if it was yesterday, but around how their RGB technology performs and how it's different than others, and why it looks better. Also, I don't know how much commentary you got from folks around how impressed they were with the technology as implemented in TVs, because it's very confusing. We can't talk about TVs, but we could talk about the technology going into TVs. And we did see the technology operating in TVs, and it was freaking stuff. I mean, it was really, really good to look at. But I want to talk about RGB as a whole later, if you guys feel like it. But I do want to keep into the chat and answering questions if I can. Let's see. Is Panasonic having RGB? I'm not sure what's going on with Panasonic in general, to be honest with you. There's a lot going on there. Last I heard, there was an acquisition by Skyworth that was not a joint venture like Sony and TCL is. Completely different deal. That is a situation where I don't really know what's going to happen with Panasonic products, but I have not heard. I did hear that they were going to have some stuff to show us this year. Haven't heard about when that's going to happen or when that's going to happen. And I don't know what it's going to be. I was hoping for some new OLEDs. I don't know about you guys, but it would be interesting to see them do RGB. They kind of looked at LCD-based TVs, at least for the US market, as one of their more inexpensive options. And so I would be shocked, frankly, if we saw Panasonic doing RGB mini or LED or micro RGB here in the United States. I don't know what they're going to do for the Japan market or for the European UK market, where they seem to be doing better. But that would be fun, wouldn't it? I think so. Let's see, where are we at here? Thanks for Prodigy. Thanks for being around and watching for so long. I really appreciate that. Let's see. A lot of people talking about Sony. That is the big video that just went up, right? I also think Bravia Inc. is going to end up being a good thing. That's how it looks right now. I'm going to maintain that position until I have good reason to think otherwise. Let's see. By the way, thanks for getting me to 140,000 subscribers. I feel like 150,000 is right around the corner. I am still, guys, actually, I have a request for you right now, and I may mention this at the end of the stream as well. There are still people who don't know this channel is here. They wonder where I went because they used to watch me at the other place, but they don't know I'm here yet. That's kind of good news that I'm still seeing messages from people saying, hey, I didn't know where you went, and I just stumbled on your channel. That tells me there's a lot of people out there that still don't know. So spread the word. If you participate in forums or discussions elsewhere, message boards, BBSs. Anybody remember BBS? Spread the word. You know what? I'm here for everyone, but only if they know I'm here, right? So spread the word if you can. However you want to do that, if you want to do that. With streaming services, paywalling, Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, right? Yeah, you have to get the premium tier, like the super premium tier, to get the good stuff now. Bugs me so much. I mean, Netflix started with the whole 4K thing, but to now like paywall Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos just seems, I don't know, like everything's a money grab with streaming right now, and it really bothers me. Is it worth paying the upfront cost on a TV with the best upscale processing when you were watching the cheapest tiered subscription? That's a good question. Is it worth paying the upfront cost on a TV with great upscaling if you're watching the cheapest tiered subscription? Well, I would say, yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to make the any lower resolution content look better. So yeah, I mean, I guess I would say the bit depth is going to take a hit, and so you're going to get more blockiness too. I don't think it's just the resolution that takes a hit on those lower cost tiers. Sometimes it's a good quality signal. You're just having to watch more ads. Sometimes the lower prices because you're getting not as good, stream from them. So, but you're also missing out on some of the HDR stuff that you could be getting. Jennifer Gallo's in the house. Hey, Jennifer, always great to see you. You know that. I am also looking forward to the Sony True RGB reviews. Very, very much so. Tokyo was great. It was quick. Sony kept that one tight and short. We did get some time to walk around a little bit, like 3 hours. And it was lovely. It was decent weather, and the cherry blossoms weren't quite out. Like we were there just a little bit too early. But then I came home to Portland where the cherry blossoms were absolutely out of control. So still got them in, but really pretty. Y'all remember? Well, I did this in the Sony video. Like it used to be every 4K demo reel was just cherry blossoms in Japan. Um, Not hard to look at. That's the truth. Boy, you guys are really burning it up in the comments, and there is no way I can keep up. Sony TVs costing less. Don't know about that. Let's wait until they actually come out. Any thoughts on the Apple Vision Pro display? Are we talking about the Apple Vision? I haven't tried. If there's new Apple Vision goggles, I have not tried them. Ask Jennifer Gala. She knows all about that stuff. She's in the chat right now. Jennifer, can you maybe address that particular question? Because I ain't the guy. Not right now. Let's see. I am clicking things that I don't want to click. Why are you doing that to me? I've really screwed this up. Okay. Vizio doesn't seem to be doing well. Hard to tell though. Like Walmart's behind them, right? So I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't know that there's going to be a clearance sale on that. Hope Panasonic doesn't go away. Same. Excited to see when real RGB makes it beyond TVs and into desktop displays. Yes, I think there is a good use for it there, and I don't think it'll take too long. It doesn't usually, Let's see, what do we have in here? I hate the reading the comments, like silence that happens. If I want to build my connections like you without doing YouTube content, what are your tips? I want to go to Sony HQ like you. However, I don't ever see dates. Yeah, that's because you need to be a journalist in order to be invited to something like that. You need to be a journalist or a creator or some sort, spreading the word, reviewing TVs or covering TV technology or something of that nature. That's why we get to go, is because we're reporters, journalists, creators, spreading the word about what's happened. And evaluating the technology that's going on out there. How have we been live for 17 minutes already? It goes so fast. A lot of excitement for Sony True RGB. Their little marketing play is working, isn't it? Lots of people are calling it True RGB. Not an accident. Y'all get that? Do you kind of pick up on what's going on there? Let's see. Somebody asking Jen what monitor she uses to master her videos. That's a good question. Ask the community. That's what I love about this, is like there's lots of cool people in the chat right now that have the deep knowledge and know stuff that I don't. Jennifer Gala is one of those people. I definitely pick her brain. Can't guarantee she's going to reply, but not a bad idea to ask her. I can't talk about any Sony television releases in 2026 because I signed an NDA and I honor those. Let's see. Tell a friend about the channel. Yep. Thank you. Please do that. I'm going to scroll forward. Well, all right. Got a super chat. You know what that means. Got to go straight to it. How do you think the contrast will be on the Bravia True RGB compared to the Bravia 9? I don't know if I can answer that question. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I want to be careful because, like I literally just said, I honor my NDAs and embargo agreements. I will say that I think people can consider what's coming from Sony to be more than just iterative. Can you deal with that? I hope you can. That's the best answer I can give you. It really is. Trust me, if I could say anything else, I would. And it's not just RGB technology y'all need to be excited about, okay? Just wanted to put that out there. There is more going on. And yeah, a lot of people talking about the M5 Apple Vision Pro, which I have not gotten to check out. Another disappointment. Guess who else isn't talking to Caleb right now? Apple. I did the AirPods Pro 3, and I think I did them pretty well. Thank you very much. Did not get any invite or anything around the new AirPods Max. Very disappointed about that. Don't know what I did, but Apple be Applein'. Yeah, maybe I'll be in their good graces again. I don't know what that'll take, but like that happens. Like you're in and then you're out. Thanks for spending time with us. You're welcome. I'm happy to do it. Let's see. By the way, if you guys are looking for content to show off on your TV, Jennifer Gala's channel is one of the best out there. Also, if you subscribe to her, or yeah, if you donate or subscribe to her Patreon, I'm not sure exactly how she works it, but you can get the actual Dolby Vision files and Dolby Atmos too. Sometimes I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jennifer, please correct me on that stuff. But I would, yeah, if you want like the best quality, if you want the stuff that YouTube can't give you, because they only do one flavor of HDR, they don't do Dolby Vision. Jennifer Gala's got that stuff, and man, it really does. Like, if you want to show off your TV to your neighbors or friends, that's the way to do it. YouTube TV has amazing HDR, 4K, only 1,000, but it's still banging. Yeah. Honestly, I thought YouTube TV looked really good for the Super Bowl. I gotta agree on that. How do I love this question. How do I describe myself? I love the question because it's about me, right? Because I'm a freaking narcissist. Just kidding, I'm not. I know a few though. How do I describe myself? Journalist, creator, influencer, other. I'm all the above now. You know, the journalist part, like, I'm independent, right? But I approach my coverage like a journalist as best as I can. I ask certain questions. I think some of the most important things that a journalist does is they don't just play into rumors. They try to verify everything. They also give they give both sides an opportunity to comment, reply, respond. They verify their information instead of just going based off what somebody says. For instance, if there's a question around whether a certain OLED TV is a QD OLED panel or it's a WRGB OLED panel, I'm not going to believe a rumor I hear, and I'm not going to speak to that until I look at it myself, or somebody I know and trust shows me, like, puts a loop on it or a microscope and shows us the pixel layout, that kind of thing. So I think of myself as a journalist in that regard, even though less conventional one. But I'm also a content creator. I'm helping produce YouTube videos. I'm helping direct this. I'm helping to try and bring some entertainment into it. And so I'm not just a journalist. I'm also a creator, and I'm independent now, which kind of comes with its own like title, I guess you would say. Thanks for asking the question though. And honestly, I mean, a big part of what's confusing with like the TV companies is that hybrid approach. Like, I think everything is changing. But as I've said on my own personal channel, when I do contracts for any paid content, part of the contract is none of that will touch editorial stuff. Like, I still do editorial content. I will review the TVs just as I've always done. There are no paid reviews. You do not get to buy my opinion. You can buy time on my channel. Like, we can highlight stuff for people, and we can amplify it and put a megaphone on it. But you don't get to buy my opinion or how I take on something. That's always been the case, and the real ones already know that. But it's in the contracts. It's like in the contracts. And before we even get there, I tell them, like, we're not going to do business together unless you can accept that this is how we're going to do it. This is the paradigm. And to a lot of their credit, they've been really good about that, which came as a surprise, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be a harder fight than it ended up being, but it's been great so far. Hey, Caleb, speculate for a moment. Reviewers have been saying that the TCL X11L has terrible motion processing. Is that due to the panel not correctable or the software correct? Who's saying that? Because I know a bunch of other reviewers, myself included, that did not see the motion processing as being problematic. Now, if we're talking about a 98-inch TV amplifying motion issues that are present on most TVs, that's something different. But like, to say that somehow TCL's taken a step backward in terms of the processing, I did not see evidence of that. There's nothing about the X11L that is harder to do than previous TVs, other than maybe all the extra zones that it has. It's not like an RGB TV. So that's what I have to say about that for now. I do know that TCL's always trying to like make their stuff as good as it can be. Like if they hear about rampant problems, they're going to fix them with a firmware update. That's the good news is that like it's very rare that an issue can't be addressed with an over-the-air update these days. It's also true that sometimes companies put out half-baked TVs like a video game that gets DLCs that were really supposed to be a core part of the game in the first place. I'm sick of seeing that with televisions, like release fully baked TVs. Vincent recently had to say, I'm delaying my LG G6 OLED review because it turns out that the firmware is not the final version that customers would get, which is another way of saying there was a problem with the firmware and they say they're going to change it. So Vincent's waiting until that happens to give his full review. Which as long as what he ends up getting is what customers end up getting, that's fine. But like, don't send out half-baked stuff to reviewers either. That's generally not a good idea. Also kind of helps explain why my unit hasn't shown up, maybe. Anyway, can't wait to get that TV in. Why does Caleb look like a shaved Nick Offerman? That's a good one. I don't know. Why do I? Is it I didn't shave today, actually. I got some stubble. But Nick Offerman, that's a first. I usually get Greg Proops. Does that make sense to you guys? The voice, maybe, not the look. Let's see. Some advice being given about things and such. I feel like I missed some super chats or something. Let's scroll down. You guys are having a fun time in here, I notice, and I'm really glad about that. Caleb, really enjoy all your content and expertise. If you're buying a TV in 2026, what would you buy, OLED or RGB mini LED? It's not that simple, guys. It's not that simple. But what would I buy personally? Probably an OLED. Infinite contrast, baby. An LCD is always going to be an LCD, no matter how awesome you make it. It's still an LCD TV with those kind of limitations. And backlight dimming, as close to OLED as they may make a TV, the dimming systems really mess with like the accuracy of a television. They're actually really hard to measure and then know what people are getting when they're actually watching content. I think the manufacturer is doing a great job with the processing on these TVs, and they look amazing. They really do. But for me personally, OLED. I would say if there was going to be an RGB TV technology that I bought into over OLED, so far, there's only one. That's all I'll say about that. And then you can infer why. That's all I'll say about that. Next one from Kirby Anderson. Thanks, Jim Springer, for the previous question. But Kirby Anderson says, odds that Sony makes a flagship 98-inch or larger. Thank you for the years of excellent informative reviews. I cannot discuss anything I know about Sony TVs in 2026. You understand? Can't discuss that. It's a true thing that I can't discuss. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down out there? Anybody? Shout me out in the comments. Let's see. Why does every T-Wire, I think that's supposed to be YouTuber, talks so highly of TCL? It seems like there's very few criticism of TCL that showed to be alarming. I'll tell you why, because the value that you get with TCL is pretty freaking incredible. And yeah, I mean, now that they're starting to stand the test of time pretty well, the numbers around that look pretty good. I mean, it's hard to argue with how much you get for the money. Also, they've started to come out with some pretty innovative stuff. And also TCL is a fully vertically integrated company, which comes with a lot of advantages. I mean, they're making the stuff that others are using in their TVs, right? And so they're able to do some pretty incredible stuff. Right down to the logistics of how they get their TVs over into various different markets, how many factories they own, where those factories are located. Like, their business is strong and smart. And so I think that the products are looking pretty good. But like that said, I melted one of their TVs and showed you that, right? Like, if you want to talk about it was not maybe not me talking negatively about TCL, but like it's not like I took it easy on them. You know what I'm saying? So I would say keep that in mind. What you're insinuating there is that like people are just on the take with TCL, and that's just not true. Like that's in nobody's interest, and it's not actually happening. Let's see. Who do you believe will be on top once all the RGB TVs are released? Since you can't, um, man, in RGB, well, you know what? I haven't seen enough. That's my out. I haven't seen enough. Um, I don't know. All I've seen is some demo stuff. I have not gotten up close and personal. So I have a high sense RGB here that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I've not seen TCL's RGB. I haven't gotten a super close look at the hottest Samsung RGB. LG showed theirs off and it looked really good, but these demos, I don't trust them. Like when we go to their place, they show us demos. I can't trust them. I have to get them in here and look at them myself before I'm going to make a call. So I mean, it's anybody's guess. I will say that Sony put on one impressive demo of their technology. I gotta admit. But I have an issue with RGB in general, and let me know if you guys want me to talk about that or if we should just keep doing what we're doing right now. Let's see. Would you invest in a high-end Sony QD OLED or wait for Sony RGB? I currently have a G2 77-inch. Oh, yeah. So I can see why you might want to have the itch to upgrade. Why don't you wait until Sony RGBs come out and start getting reviews and make that decision then? You know, I would wait. Wait until experts say something about it and then make your decision. Sorry if that's not the answer you're looking for, but that is the answer that you should get if you ask me. Uh, make a flagship 98. Cover that. Would you rather have Cheeto? Oh no, do I even want to read this? Bubba Tricks. I mean, it's in your name. That's just a wacky enough question that I'm actually gonna answer it. Well done. Well done. Would I rather have Cheeto dust on the ends of your fingertips that never come off or wear wet socks for the rest of my life? Oh, Cheeto on the fingertips. If it's not coming off, who cares? It just looks weird. And I've got a great story. How the heck did that happen? Well, it was this or wet socks for the rest of my life, and wet socks suck. So here we are. And yeah, I get noticed in public and probably be even more of a celebrity than I'm supposed to be now. I think, yeah, Cheeto dust, 100%. Not even thoughts on Martin Logan. I miss him. I miss reviewing their their speakers and their subwoofers, but like they always did great job with air motion transformers or air motion tweeters or whatever you want to call folded ribbon. I always like that. I always like that stuff. As long as it wasn't too harsh or sibilant, man, the attack and the percussiveness on those so good. And they made one heck of a subwoofer. Yeah, I hope they're doing well these days. I know that there's been a lot of shaking up on the audiophile community. Let's see. Spanky Golf Addict 65. How do you guys do it? How do you do it? He's a member, so I'm paying attention. Caleb, I still haven't gotten my huge TV. Sorry about that. What are you suggesting for me? I want big, affordable, no gaming, just sports and movies hooked to Sonos system, dark man cave, no windows, sitting 7 feet away. Huge. What do you mean by huge? Are you talking like 98 inch? Or are we talking like 77 inch? You're 7 feet away, dude. Like I'd be looking around 77, 85, just so that you could like see the whole picture all at once. And since there are 77-inch OLEDs, a little expensive, but pretty awesome. I'd probably lean that direction. Yeah, I'd probably lean that direction. I would go, yeah, I'd probably be looking at a Samsung or a Sony. if you're doing a lot of sports, maybe, but TCL and Hisense, they're going to give you way more picture for your money. That's a tough one. Let's see. Are 8K TVs officially dead now? Not according to Samsung, but yes, they are. Like, just don't. Like 8K automatically means you're just nerfing the brightness on a TV because the aperture of those LCD cells is so tiny that not a lot of light comes through it. And to get them super bright, you have to spend a lot of money on energy, and the EU basically made that impossible. So, in my opinion, 8K TVs are just dead. There's way more stuff that we can put our attention, or they can put their attention and resources and engineering into to make it more exciting to watch. Oh, let's see. No. Sorry, I'm gonna have to skip some of you guys. Not that I don't love you, it's just that there's a lot here. What's your favorite kind of ice cream? Well, as a lactose intolerant person, I have to say that my favorite kind of ice cream is the kind that doesn't give me problems. But if I have lactate pills around, and I can pick anything I want. Like, I like a dark chocolate with like maybe some brownie bits in it, maybe. I don't know. I'm a big chocolate fan. I'd probably lean that direction. That's my guess. Like, if you're saying like I can only have one for the rest of my life, I might have to lean in that direction. Jennifer Gala is answering questions and being generally awesome, like she always is. Thank you, Jennifer. Holy cannoli. Can I say that? I want to get a 115-inch TV this year. Okay, big bucks, boy. Trey J. That's will the 2025 models go down from 10K this year? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, 2025. We're in April 2026. If they're still around, I bet they will. Those things are huge. They're taking up a ton of space in somebody's warehouse. They gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So if they're still around, they'll come down in price. What I don't understand or know is how much stock there is or isn't of that particular TV size. So yeah. But I will say, I think 115-inch TVs prices are actually going to go down in 2026. Like, I think you're going to get them for way less than you thought. So I would just wait, because the best is yet to come, whether it's the price dropping on a 2025 model or something amazing coming out in 2026 that you just can't pass up. Let's see. With all of TV companies combining, that's not a thing that's happening. Which company would you be most confident in going forward? It doesn't matter, because they're not combining. Yeah, nobody's combining. Samsung's not combining. LG's not combining with anybody, and Sony and TCL are not combining. They're joining forces, but it's not a combo. And one's not buying the other one out. So yeah, I mean, nothing's changed. I like it when I talk about TV tech, and I like talking about RGB too. I don't think Samsung. No, I think Samsung still has an 8K model. I don't think they've just canceled it entirely. Yeah, Caleb, just say yes or no. Will we have an A95M QD OLED this year? You know, I cannot answer that question. No, I won't just say yes or no. I'll say no to you. How about that? I won't answer the question. Caleb, love your content and have been a big fan for a long time. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. I'm actually in the home theater space for a big retailer as a specialist for a specific big brand. Thoughts on Samsung Mini LED 26? What I've seen looks really good. But I gotta get them in and test them in here. I have measured some stuff. Think the embargo lifted on that? I better be careful. But yeah, Samsung's looking good this year. They made a lot of improvements to their UI. The One UI is so much better than what we called Tizen. It's still basically the same thing. It's so much better than it was before. So the TVs themselves are more pleasant to use. How about that? Yeah, I think also Samsung got the word that it was going to have to start kicking some butt in some different ways, and they started doing that. So I'm excited to see what where they're coming from. Caleb, could you make sure people address the color bug and the tone mapping bugs in 4000 nits and game mode original preset on the S95H? Um, People, you mean like other reviewers? I'm pretty sure if folks are sensitive to what happened with S95F, they're going to be looking to see if things got fixed in S95H. I don't think that Caleb, the accountability police, needs to, deploy forces to make sure that happens. I'm thirsty. You guys mind if I take a drink? Is that allowed on a live stream? I know it's going to be weird, but I'm just going to lean down and grab something really quick. It's delicious coffee that is sitting here melting. Oh man, it's good. Yes, I can handle caffeine at this time of night. Don't ask the question. I'm fine. I drink Red Bulls at 11 p.m. and I can still be sacked out by 1. Very curious about your RGB opinion. Yeah, okay. So let's see. Is ATSC 3.0 dead? No, it's not dead. It's being supported by Hisense at TCL, and LG doesn't. Sony does. It's not dead. It's just not. It's not being taken advantage of the way I think a lot of people hoped. But it's being deployed in a bunch of markets. It's just being used to create more channels to run more ads instead of like doing 4K broadcasts, unless it's a special moment, like the Super Bowl or whatever. I was never all that hopeful about ATSC 3.0 because the people who made the standard and got it put together, like they're not the ones that decide how it gets used. It's the independent local broadcast stations and affiliates that to make that choice. And I mean, I talked to some of the local broadcast engineers who work on the towers and replaced equipment and helped make all this possible for Portland. When we got it early, like Las Vegas did. And they're just like, I mean, when I use the tuner on the TVs, I get the option to watch the ATSC 3.0 version, and it's maybe sometimes marginally better. I don't think it's dead. I just don't think it's being adequately utilized. I don't think it's being used for the potential it has. 43 minutes. You know what? We're cruising. What are we doing here? Got a 65-inch QN90F, already going to trade it in. So mad at the screen just washed out to me. I was coming from a QN90C, but it failed on me, but I love that one. So washed out. That's not, I don't think that sounds too normal. Like, what's going on there? Are you watching HDR content on an HDMI input that hasn't been changed to accept 422 or 444 color, like HDR color? 10-bit, I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm sorry that you're experiencing that. That sucks. I hope that you have better luck when things change. More of you guys chatting. Why is your Sonos Arc horrible for crowd noise sports? All right, so I do not know exactly, but I did recently use the Sonos Arc Ultra for this, the Super Bowl. I had a good experience with that, but crowd noise sometimes is just overwhelming, right? It's just too loud. People would rather hear the announcers. But I mean, a lot of the TV manufacturers are they're integrating some audio processing where you can literally turn the crowd down or up and turn the announcers down or up. Now, whether that will translate down to how your soundbar works depends, because most of the time you would need to use a Sony soundbar with a Sony TV or a Samsung soundbar with a Samsung TV, et cetera, ad nauseum. Sonos just takes what it's given and does what it does with it. It's not, that issue is not with your Sonos. It's with how the programming is being delivered to the Sonos. And yeah, some people are just sucky at their jobs when it comes to like mixing audio for live sports events. I don't know what else to tell you. There are people out there doing a great job, and there are people out there that are just not. And I don't know what makes the difference between them, but it is annoying, and I'm sorry that you're having that problem. Good evening from Puerto Rico. I worked on cruise ships, and Puerto Rico it was my favorite port. I miss it so much. And I need to go back. I really need to go back. Underrated Puerto Rico as a vacation destination, by the way. Everybody wants to go to like one of the Caribbean islands or whatever. Like, don't sleep on Puerto Rico. It's freaking awesome. Shout out Puerto Rico for real. I miss you, and you who commented from Puerto Rico. We've never met, but I'm pretty sure I miss you too. Let's see. Oh, people making funny comments. I can't keep up with you. I'm sorry. That's because I talk too much. Let's see. Somebody commenting about something. ATSC 3.0 being freed from ATSC 1. With the renewed uncertainty about tariffs, to expect new TVs will be significantly more expensive this year. It does not look like it. LG's prices are not going up because they raised them last year, but that has nothing to do with the tariffs, right? They kind of hedged and they made a smart decision there. So I know that some TVs have already been landed in the United States. So it really just depends about when the tariffs go into effect, and when the product comes through the border. If they've already been landed in the United States and they're now on their way to, by rail to various different markets and whatnot, those they won't jack the prices up on those, I don't think. I hope. But anything else coming in, I mean, there may need to be price adjustments. What I will say is like the prices will come out as they are. I think what will happen is they won't drop as much as they used to, when the coming out price is like elevated and then weeks later it's less expensive, right? I think that we're going to see a much slower or much not shallower slope. That's the word I was looking for. A shallower slope to the decline of television prices over time. But yeah, freaking tariffs, man. I'm telling you what. I once did a video about tariffs. Y'all should go watch that because it's just as true now as it was then. Oh, got it. All right. Yeah. You were politely asking me to address it in my review, and I will try to do that. Thank you for clarifying on that. Is Philips TV big in your part of the world? Nope. Not the Philips that I assume Sarah, because I'm going to assume that you're in the UK or Europe, maybe, and you get real Philips TVs. What we get is something very, very different with a Philips badge slapped on it. It's not the same thing. And they don't offer US reviewers review samples or anything like that. So in our part of the world here in the United States, it's not that they're a dead brand. The mark is still out there. It's just that those TVs are, I'm forgetting who makes them now. TP Vision, I think. Somebody out there correct me, who makes the Philips branded TVs for the North American market. They're not the same as the Philips stuff that you're getting, unfortunately, if you're in the UK or Europe. Let's see. Oh, Peter Carberry understood me. I'm glad you picked up what I put down. Let's see. Member for 5 months. Ken, thank you. Holy cow. I didn't even know that YouTube would do that. That's so fun. I should do more live streams and I would learn more about YouTube. Will Sony make the shoot out or will it be postponed? I am embarrassed to say I don't know. When is the shootout happening? When's it scheduled for? Somebody throw it down in there. That's I see what you're doing. Little backdoor action right there. Okay. I'll let you know if I think they'll make the shootout. I'll say that. I think that's safe. Um, what happened with my old channel? You guys had a falling out because you felt you weren't being fairly compensated for your work. Oh, wow. Uh, which one of Ian's friends are you? Seriously, like if you've followed any of what happened there, if you listened to anything that I've said, you know that compensation had nothing to do with it. Um, I mean, yeah, uh, I'm definitely making less now than I was before. Not about compensation, and also can't talk about it. Can't talk about that for another year and some odd dates. And then I can talk about it all I want. And what you know, I've been thinking about writing a book. Spread the word. Somebody needs to worry about that. Let's see. My 30-year-old B&W Kevlar, I believe, speakers with center speaker are amazing compared to Sonos for sports crowd noise. Maybe I should dig them up. Just bulky compared to a soundbar. Yeah, you know, that's because your B&Ws are um, getting a signal that's being processed by, I'm assuming, a receiver or a pre-pro, and it's doing something completely different with it than the Sonos is. Um, so yeah, I mean, also you have a lot more control there. That's my guess. Like if Sonos is trying to make Atmos out of non-Atmos, that might be what's going on. And in which case, I would have to actually reverse what I said before and say that the Sonos is bringing the problem to you. But I've also heard that with like a bunch of other, like just straight up TVs. I know some of it, at least some of it, is the audio programming. But I don't have a problem saying when I'm wrong. If I'm getting that wrong, I mean honestly, I need to test it. If only I liked sports. Sorry. Um, it's not that yes, it was TP Vision. Thank you for the confirmation. It's not that I don't like sports. I don't get to watch it very often. In fact, I haven't seen any of the Masters. Has anybody been watching the Masters? How's it look this year? Are they doing a good job with the broadcast? I'm really curious. By the way, if your TV has dirty screen effects, nothing will show it quite as quickly as golf, except maybe hockey. Um, I'm so glad I'm back on YouTube. Yes, yeah, I am too. Stopped watching the show I used to be on because you enjoy watching me. Thank you. I appreciate that. But still, watch lots of YouTube channels. There's lots of great creators out there. There's lots of great channels. I'm not here to steer traffic away from anybody. I'm just here to do my thing, and if you like it, I appreciate it. Keep coming back and keep watching it. Absolutely happy to do that. Kenneth Cayley Jr. can't read your entire comment right now, but sounds like you're loving your TV and really enjoying watching it. And I love hearing that. If you guys keep pressuring me, I might spit something about Sony QD OLED. You know I won't. So got a super chat here from Roland Bello. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So this year, if you get a Samsung S90H, you're getting basically S95F. You may not have been here earlier when I commented on this until I have concrete proof of exactly what is in that panel and a little bit more information about whether different regions are getting something else. I can't comment on that. But man, I'd like to visit you in Dominican Republic. I've always wanted to go to the DR. Never made it there while I was on cruise ships. So yeah, thanks for your question. I wish I could give you an answer. I mean, I did give you an answer. I have no answer for you because I haven't tested it out in-house yet. I haven't put a microscope on it, like a USB microscope. We'll do that, and then I'll show you the pixels. Then we'll know exactly what's going on, and we'll see if we can get multiple sizes in and see if we can, figure some fun stuff out together. I should probably stop at about an hour, so we're gonna pick this up. Nikki says, "Welcome to D's Knits." You know it. Did I tell you guys I got patches made for my hoodie? I have a D's Knits patch. There's merch coming, by the way. I love some merch. I hope that you guys are interested in some of it. Also have a really big announcement to make soon. I am not even going to hint at it, but I'm really, really excited. So stick around. It's coming soon. It's coming very soon. Like a lot of details have been taken care of, orders have been placed. Something fun is coming. Let's see what else we got in here. Caleb in New Zealand. Hey, we got a Kiwi in the house. We can buy Philips TVs here. Oh, it's Sarah again. But I don't know if we get the good ones or the junky ones. That's a good. You know what, Sarah? Will you do me a favor? Send this question to Ask Caleb at calibrated.com, and I'll put it in not this Saturday's Just Ask, the next Just Ask Caleb that I do, because I need to do some research before I answer that question. I don't know that off the top of my head. I hope you guys understand that I cannot remember all of the things all of the time. I don't know if you're getting the good stuff or not, but I will find out and I will answer you. And in fact, I think we'll identify who's getting the TP Vision and who's not. But yeah, please email me so I don't forget. Dave NLR2 just donated because Dave being Dave and being awesome. Thank you so much. I really approve that. Blu-ray players. I have a Revon for native playing to an 895L. Is there a replacement? I.e. leaves upscaling to Sony. Oh, can you not turn off the upscaling? For just like 1080p Blu-rays? You should on a Revon. You absolutely should. That one confuses me. Caleb, I missed your super chat. Crying emoji. Oh no. Okay, we're going back. I may regret this, but we're going back. Do you think Sony's new RGB TV will be the TV to beat this year? When will it be revealed? I can't tell you when it's going to be revealed. I do think Sony is in a very strong position. How about that? We did the tariffs. Was that the one that I missed? I couldn't remember. Oh, no. Wow, there's holy cow. Yeah, I missed a big one. I'm sorry about that. I hope this is the right one. Caleb, love your content. Have had a 77-inch S90F for 5 weeks. Only gripe is motion judder. Okay, we got to have a conversation about the difference between judder and stutter. Got 3 weeks left to keep it or go to a G5 or a C6H. Neither one of those is a bad idea. Usage is dark room, PC gaming, and 4K movies. Not a fan of where Samsung is going. Thanks. So if you're dealing with PC gaming and you're in gaming mode, like it's probably not doing any motion smoothing because it's trying to follow the exact frame rate of what your content is asking it to do. You can get rid of what you're calling motion judder is not actually judder. And I don't mean to be pedantic, but judder is what happens as a result of 3:2 pull down. It's when you have like a 24 frame per second film basically that needs to be displayed at 30, 60, 120 hertz, some multiple. So what they do is for every three frames they pull it down to 2 so that the math works, and that's a really terrible explanation. But judder is what happens when that process is done poorly. It looks like a frame skip or like it's like actually juddering back and forth. Stutter, which is the name I just gave it because I didn't know what else to call it, is what happens when a bright object moves from one pixel to the next pixel on an OLED TV. And what's happening is your OLED TV's pixel response time is instantaneous. And because it is, there's no blur there. There's no softening. It doesn't take a while for the pixel to get bright. It's instantly bright. And when that happens, it looks like a flash. And that is actually what's causing that stuttering. I get it. It drives me crazy too. There are certain scenes in certain movies where, like, if you don't turn on certain motion smoothing, like just enough to help out, but not give it soap opera effect, it really is jarring. I get that. But OLED, that's, it's got lots of benefits, but one of its downsides is that pixel response time comes with some issues that bother people. Was that the one that I missed? I hope so. I think it was. If it wasn't, restate it, or I'll give you a refund or something. But I hope I got it. Scrolling right back down, looking like a dum-dum on the YouTubes today. Caleb, did you happen to see my email about the 2022 or the 22-foot video wall? We're adding JBL Project Everett speakers to make to it this week. Come through. No, I did not. Send that email again. That sounds absolutely outrageous. If y'all don't know about JBL Project Everest, I highly suggest you go and Google that stuff right now, because that it is absolutely ridiculous. Bryce, way to flex, dude. That is a big super geek flex that you just made right there, and I am here for it. Good job. And people saying stuff is trash. I try not to say that kind of thing, although I did just call a certain AI video that I was brought to my attention trash in the Just Ask Caleb show that I just recorded, so you'll get to hear that. What do we got here? Did I miss anybody else's super chat? Hit me up now because I gotta go. It's almost. Do I mean the Mario Golf tournament? Come on, come on. Are there really no golf fans out there? Am I the only one who enjoys golf? Am I the only one mad at Tiger right now? Just that dude is so wealthy. What? Just have a car service, idiot. What a crappy way to like be there for your son. You know what I'm saying? Bet you weren't expecting a morality commentary on today's live stream, but you got one anyway. Yeah, Bryce, send the email again tonight if you will, and also like, yeah, guys, try not to. Golf is nap background. Oh, that's so cruel. I know what you mean, though. I used to feel the same way. My late father, bless his heart, but bless his soul, used to watch golf when we got home from church, and it was, in a day where we still only TV, and none of us wanted to watch golf. But now we all watch the Masters in his honor, and yeah, I like doing that because I play golf, and now I know how hard it is, and I have respect for what they're doing out there, and I understand. If you're not into golf, that's maybe the most boring sport to watch on TV. Although I will say baseball is a close second, man. Baseball, when nothing's happening, is pretty stinking boring for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but basketball, man, there's the sport I like to watch on TV. It's just so fast paced. Does that mean I have ADHD? Do you guys think? Is this really the last year for QD OLED? Why would somebody say that? No, absolutely not. No, it's not the last year for QD OLED. Oh, you know what? I think I understand why you might be saying that. No, it's definitely not. And as a matter of fact, I'll not sponsored. Dell. Ooh, is there an embargo on that? There might be. I got to be careful. Keep an eye out for an Alienware monitor coming to you soon. It's going to shock you. I'll just say the price on this thing that's going to come from some people is going to be amazing. And those of you who are PC people, if you're looking for a monitor and you really care about picture quality, keep your eyes out. Like, I don't know if the embargo is lifted or not, and I can't go and look right now. But I got something in for review, and I'm so excited about it. So y'all need to keep an eye out. Yeah, after being, here's one after my own heart. After years of being a purist, I started using the clarity options, including True Motion on my LG C1 for YouTube and animated shows, and I like it. Am I banned from this channel? No, you're not. Absolutely not. Look, some of that stuff isn't 24 frame per second stuff. So you're not screwing up a film cadence. You're not going into full on like soap opera effect area either, where it looks fake and two-dimensional because most of the frames are just made up. So no, you're not banned. I wouldn't ban you anyway. Just because we don't have the same opinion doesn't mean that you don't belong here. Like, hopefully you know that. I know you're just playing around, but like, we try to be inclusive here. Unless you're all you're trying to do is cause trouble, in which case I got no time for you. And somebody already has an Alien One OLED monitor. It's fire, and yes, it is. I've had two. I'm on my second one. It's the 32 inch. Yeah, it's the 32 inch 21 by 9. Sick. Absolutely sick. I love it. Um, Word documents look incredible. I'm just joking. Let's see. It's really the spreadsheets that set me off. Let's see. Why do you feel Sony announces their new TVs after all the other manufacturers? Seems like a business disadvantage. Why would it be? They own the news cycle when they do that. It's like, why do they not go to CES? Because they don't have any competition. When they do their thing, they're the only one doing their thing, and everybody will be watching. I do see a point about like if everybody's buying their TVs immediately after they come out, like in the spring, like right now, I need to buy a TV, must buy a TV, must buy the most expensive version of this TV I could possibly buy. Sony's missing out on that. I'm not sure that that's a disadvantage, though. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to be flippant. Let me know if that makes sense. I think owning the news cycle is really, really smart. Like, do you want to announce your brand new product at the same time Apple's announcing its brand new product? You definitely don't. I've seen that happen. It doesn't work out for people very well because Apple will just squash you. So I think Sony, by putting out its information when the noise has died down, is probably doing something pretty smart from a business perspective. Also, they're on a different update schedule, right? They like to really update their stuff more like every 2 years than every single year, um, which some people think is not a great idea. Um, I'm not sure where I sit on that one, but as far as like when they announce their stuff, I think they're probably making a smart business decision, if I'm being honest. I want to mount my TCL frame TV Next Vision, yes, on a wall that is an exterior house wall. Why? Should I hire a general contractor to make sure I don't screw up installation and ventilation for the TV? Well, I mean that I'm concerned about that. I don't know anything about the weather where you live, but normal TVs are not designed to be outside in the elements like at all. I know people do it all the time. They also only last 2 years, maybe. I have real concerns about that. Unless you're going to put it in some sort of like climate controlled box or something. Or maybe you live in the Garden of Eden and there's never any problems there. Also, I happen to know that bees love electronics. So I hope you don't get any bee or like yellow jacket like hives being built in your TV. That would be bad, right? That would suck. Nobody wants that. I don't, I would say don't do it yourself and maybe just don't do that. Like, get an outdoor TV. That TV's not even that bright. It's meant to look like art. You must have like a really specific thing that you're doing. And I'm not here to make fun of you. I just don't understand why somebody would do that. So help me understand. And do it fast. Send it to askcaleb@calebrated.com because I don't think I'm going to be able to get back to that today. Please talk about hyperfluorescence front Hilux Japan. Don't know what you're talking about. I'm really sorry. Isn't Samsung pulling back on QD OLED though? No. What's your current personal TV? My current personal TV is whatever's come in for review. Seriously, like it's about to be a TV I can't tell you about until next Friday. But yeah, it's whatever I'm reviewing, honestly. If it's not a TV, there's a projector. Oh, did anybody catch the little cameo appearance, the little Easter egg in the last couple videos I did? No, because I haven't seen a single comment about it. Y'all know what I'm doing over here? I hope you do. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, Wawa Weewa. Send me an email. Tell me what you're doing. Let's see if we can figure that out. We got another super chat from Nikki XD. Hi, Caleb. Not TV related. I like it already, but monitor related. How do you feel about Apple Studio Display XDR with 2K plus mini LEDs at 27 inches and at 5K resolution? I think you should go ask my man, John Higgins, who recently started working for The Verge. And he got deep down on that sucker and has actually looked at it and has a lot of things to say about it. So I would go ask him because he's got experience with it. You may not have been here when I complained that Apple seemingly doesn't like me anymore, or maybe there's just a misunderstanding, but like I haven't been getting those calls. Um, so you know what? Stuff happens. Maybe I'll buy something if I have to. But yeah, hopefully that we can get that whole thing with Apple fixed up. It's the one thing, it's the one bee in my bonnet. When was the last time you heard that expression? Yeah, that's the one bee in my bonnet right now is that Apple, I seem to be on the outside of Apple's walled garden now, and I don't like it one bit. I don't understand it either. Um, I am genuinely enthusiastic about the AirPods Pro 3. I use them all the time. I will say that the AirPods Pro 2 ended up being more comfortable for me, but like otherwise, the three are fire. I like them. I think that they're a very, very good product. I think they're great for daily use. And I gave them a great review, and I don't know what I would have done to upset them other than if maybe they don't know where I am. Um, Congratulations, Lisa, for being a member for 6 months. That means like since the channel was launched. Yeah, I mean, we just did the 6 month anniversary, and it's kind of crazy, right? You know what the 1 year anniversary of is coming up? Let you guys guess. Guess in the comments what 1 year anniversary is coming up. We got another super chat from Brodalicious. I don't hate that username. I own a 77-inch LG C8 that has increasing pixel wear in the reds. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Want to upgrade to an LG G6 or C6H? Was wondering, can I extend lifespan if I don't watch at max brightness? You do not need to worry about that with the new TVs. You're moving from a completely different OLED panel type to a completely new one. If you get the C6H, you're getting the hyper radiant, you're getting the 4 stack, you're getting like all the goodies. You don't need to worry. It is true on some of the older panels, the harder you drove them, depending on the OLED compound, they have different half-lives. So some of them, like the OLED sub-pixel, might dim faster than the green or the blue. And so that's what's happening with your TV. It is because also, I would imagine you probably watch a lot. You probably have your TV on a lot at max brightness. And so, yeah, that's going to wear down on the TV a little faster than it might for some other users. But I really do think if you do that upgrade, you can worry a whole lot less because they're just built different. The way they achieve their brightness doesn't rely on one white subpixel and whatever the RGB subpixels are doing. Does that make sense? They're achieving brightness by stacking layers of OLED panels on each other and reinforcing each other, and it's a really smart move actually. But yeah, don't worry about it if you're going to upgrade. That's what I would say. Nerdy Mastermind. You know what? This might be my favorite part of live streams is just reading your usernames. It's so fun. First of all, Dave NLR2 member for 6 months. Yes, you were, and thank you for that. I mean it. I really do. Hello. Any plans from Nerdy Mastermind? Any plans to cover 4K projectors in the future? Funny you should ask. When I asked about Easter eggs earlier, yes, I have a 4K UST projector in the house with a fluorescing screen, and it looks really awesome. And I'm really sad that nobody mentioned it. But maybe we didn't make it look obvious enough. I don't know. Yes, they have gotten competitive with TVs in the large format. Projectors are making more and more sense for a lot of folks. They're not as bulky and they're not as heavy. And honestly, if you live in a walk-up in New York, you're not buying a gigantic TV. You have to do a projector, right? There's a lot of places where you cannot physically get the gigantic TV into the place that you want to get it. And so, yeah, I think projectors not going anywhere. For Apple PR, I was an employee for about 8 years. Sometimes it really is down to who you talk to. Maybe worth fishing around for another rep if you can. The person that I talked to, I've known her for years and years and years. She's very high up. She very much is influential. Not too concerned about who it is I'm talking to, but you know what? Point taken, and I will keep trying. Oh boy, you're gonna hit me with a question that's probably better for Andrew Robinson, to be honest with you. DM 600 B&W 2 with center speaker, best receiver, $600. You deserve an answer. Thank you for the super chat. I can't answer you right now. I do not know what receivers are costing these days. I will say I love what Onkyo is coming out with soon, and they are always really great for the price. I might steer you in that direction, but honestly, you deserve a more comprehensive, better researched answer than that. And so, what I'd love you to do is email that question to askcaleb@calebrated.com and say, hey, told me in the live stream to email you. In fact, do that, please. AWOL Ethereum Max, I keep hearing about it. I really do. And X Jimmy's got something competitive too. I think they're coming out at like the same time. I will definitely be trying to get those. Although I will say the screen I have, it's an ALR screen designed for UST projectors. And so might have to get another screen. That could get funky, but we'll see about it. Those are exciting. Maybe I'll go somewhere else to review that. I'll go to somebody's house. You buy it, I'll fly and review it. How's that sound? Okay, Stevie 69. Hi, Caleb. Currently have a G2 65-inch OLED. Do you think I would notice the upgrade to a C6H77 or just wait one more year for HDMI 2.2? Man, nobody should. I don't know anybody who really needs to wait for HDMI 2.2. G2 to like a G6 or a C6. I think you're going to notice the difference. I do. I think it's just going to light up your life a little bit more. I don't know that I would wait for HDMI 2.2. Like I'll tell you this, I don't want Gen 1 HDMI 2.2. Like they're going to need to figure that stuff out. Like remember like HDMI 2.1A or 2.0A, like bugs, y'all. Don't buy the first HDMI 2.2 device that comes out. At least don't buy it for that. You know what I mean? You might want to get the TV that happens to have that in it, but don't buy it for that. Any experience with the value brand Tecton? None. Sorry, that was an easy question to answer. Bryce, you already asked a question, so you can just ask as many questions as you want in that email that you're gonna send. But no experience with that one. Do you plan to set up home theater room? Well, in the studio, yeah. I mean, I have the entire SVS. Like I have the new one of the new subwoofers, the 15-inch bad boy. I got the sealed version. So I can't wait to show you guys that. The center channel is already in place. I'm going to put the side surrounds and rear surrounds in place. Not doing Atmos just yet because I had to figure out where sound absorption panels were going first. But I have a really fun plan to do Atmos. I keep looking over there because I need to remind myself of what it is that we're going to be doing in that space over there. But yeah, you will see some home theater action here. Lots of speakers to go with the big screen TVs that are doing their thing, and some new receivers in here powering some of that stuff. It's been speaking to Denon, Marantz, and I need to get a hold of Anthem because I've always loved their stuff. Do you plan? Yeah, we already did that one. Guys, I think we need to wrap it up. I've already been going for an hour and almost hour and 20 minutes. That's way longer than I intended to go. It's just so fun. I enjoy hanging out with you guys and doing these live streams. Of course, the longer they are, nobody's going to watch them after the live stream is over. Sometimes I think I should do a shorter one, just so that they keep getting watched later. But you know what? This one was just for fun, and I'm glad we did it today. I was trying to say that I just found your live stream, which is weird because I'm a member and I didn't even get a notification. That is weird. If you have notifications turned on, then you should have, Tracy Ann. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'm really sorry. Like I've been telling other people, email me at askcaleb@calebrated.com. Mention that you were in this live stream. I will do my best to answer your question. It's getting really, really hard. Also, I have a buy me a coffee. Just so you guys know, people were asking for a way to contribute that didn't go through YouTube, which I understand. So there's a buy me a coffee option. I'll look at doing a Patreon later. I'm not doing subscriptions because I don't know what I'm going to offer for it through those. Like here on YouTube, it's easy to add perks. I don't yet have a plan for the buy me a coffee. So right now it's just a place where if you wanted to contribute and ask a deeper question, like if you want more of my attention or time, that's a good way to get it. Because I'm ridiculously busy now. Like I said, flying off to New York, I'm just going to stay for 10 days. There's no point in flying back and then going back out there. So I'm going to be away for a while, but I will be looking at the emails and trying to answer as many of them as I can. Continuing the weekly show for you guys on Saturdays. If you didn't already know, Just Ask Caleb comes out Saturday mornings, better than cartoons. We do that at 7:45 a.m. Eastern time, 4:45 a.m. Pacific is when it comes out. And then, obviously it's YouTube. You can watch it whenever you want, but that's when we put it out. And we try to have fun for it. And Bryce, come on, dude. You're too nice. You're too generous. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry if I was unable to answer some of your questions today. I really did the very best that I could. A lot of them came in. I don't know. I don't know what the top number of viewers was while we did this, but just to know that there's 372 of you out there right now on a barely announced live stream. It just really warms my heart, and I appreciate everybody's support. It has been a heck of a year. Like I said, year-long anniversary coming up for some things. Yeah, I'm extremely grateful. And that's all I have to say about that. I'll keep trying to give y'all what you're wanting and what you're looking for. I pay attention to your comments, even if I can't respond to them. I see a lot of your comments. I see a lot of your questions. I see a lot of your emails. And I register all of that. And I keep that in mind when I'm creating the content. Because I know I'm doing it for you. Y'all are the reason that I'm here. So why wouldn't I? Also, I think that's what's led to success for me in the past, was listening to what people wanted, what they were asking for, and trying to deliver on that. Unless it's ridiculously niche, you know what I'm saying? In which case, that kind of, that's the exception to the rule. But I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I know I am. I'm going to go play a really big gig many, many hours away from here, which I'm excited to do. It's always fun to get the trumpet on my face, doing one last little showcase for some to-be wedded couples, which is always fun. And then it's off to New York for like 10 days. And then when I get back, wedding season starts kicking in and weekends start getting busy. And that's when I'm going to find out what I can really do and what I can't do. But I will say, the more support that you offer, the sooner I can hire people to help me, the sooner things can grow, and we can just put out even more content for you. I'd love to, there's somebody I want to hire to do computing stuff, including monitors and PC hardware. Somebody that you have seen associated with my face in the past. I think they're one of the best in the business, and I'd love to hire them on and have them be a permanent part of the team and have another channel. I also want to bring Rich on full time. You guys know Rich has been with me forever and ever and ever. And I'd like to bring him on full time so that he and Zeke could be the tag team of power. I think that would be amazing. So yeah, these are all things that I think about every day. And now you've gotten to crawl inside my brain. That's long enough, though. Please get out of my brain. Have a wonderful weekend. I love you guys so much. And as soon as I figure out how to end this stream, I'll end it. Okay. Awkward silence at the end. Bye.